3 years ago. So you're just going to throw your life away? My mother asks me, and her screaming is giving me a headache. Why don't you just let me live my life? I snap, abruptly exasperated as I jam my hands into my hair. Have you ever done something you know is a bad idea, but you're being impelled to do it by your best friend, as well as the heat of liquor pooling in your belly destroying any concern about potential consequences? Yeah, I did that last night, and a hangover is not the only thing I am regretting. Gosh, I wish this would end. We just want you to have a better life than we did. You getting drunk and going to parties isn't the answer. We thought when you went off to college, we wouldn't have to treat you like a child anymore. But apparently, we were wrong, my dad says intensely. My temper is flaring out of control, and I glare defiantly at them. I am not a kid anymore. I'm 18 and I can do whatever I want. My voice is higher than I intended it to be. I don't live under your roof, so you can't tell me what I should and shouldn't do. Your college tuition is paid in full because of your scholarships, but we're still paying for your dorm room, Missy. My father's words pour out in anger. You know we don't make that much money and we are barely able to keep up with the payments. I cut him off. Then I'll start paying once I get a job, so you won't have to worry about me anymore. We never had much when I was growing up. My father was a mechanic who did his best to support his family, which in turn did not provide much money for us, whereas my mother was a piano and vocals teacher. My mom was inspiring as well as a source of hope for many, because most of the parents could not afford to pay for her class, and for this reason, she gave some lessons for free. Each class I decided upon, and each exceptional grade I'd gotten since high school focused on getting scholarships to pay for my college tuition. What happened to you, Sashiana? You were never like this. What happened to the daughter we used to know? We were so proud of you for all your accomplishments, and now you are just wasting it away. And for what? So you can party. I knew that Camille girl was not good for you. My mom says coldly. I cringe back slightly from her hostility, and her green eyes turn bewildered. You know what? I don't have to take this. I yell as I grab my jacket and head for the door. I slam it shut behind me and march to Camille's car. She glares at me as I climb into the front seat. What's the matter? She asks, and I glance at her in the rearview mirror. Nothing, just go, I spit. When she's driving off, I see both my parents running after me and yelling, Sashiana, wait, don't leave. After declining several phone calls and messages from my parents, I slowly place it on the table next to Camille. Oh, for the love of all that is holy, would they just leave me alone? I knew coming to the frat house was a bad idea, especially after what my parents told me, but I needed a distraction. Do you care to explain to me what happened at your parents' house? Camille inquires as she looks up at me and sips her beer. Camille, I don't want to talk about it, please, I say, my eyes flaring with annoyance. I know she's concerned, but I don't feel like talking right now, and I can't think rationally. I don't know what to think, but I know I need a drink. A large one. I stride over to the kitchen where I notice people playing suck and blow, and I roll my eyes. I bypass them all and I take one of the whiskeys off of the counter. I don't stop to consider which booze I fancied. Any alcohol would suffice right now. Pouring the bourbon into the red cup, I tilt it back and chug it down until it was empty. Immediately I pour more. I feel hot and sweaty. Everywhere I turn, my parents' voice rang in my head, torturing me and reminding me of my failures. I yank at the collar of my blue tank top, hoping the extra room at my neck could help me breathe. No such luck. My throat feels like it's closing on me. I can't take this shit any longer. I grab the cup and tilt my head back, swallowing the dark liquor down my throat once more. I shake my head at how much it burned my throat, but I did not care right now. All I wanted was to forget about today. I pour a little more whiskey into my cup again before I go into the living room and start to dance to the beat of the music, forgetting my problems. After dancing for nearly 2 hours, my feet are killing me. I hear Camille's voice call over the music, "There you are. Are you ready to go home?" I nod. During the drive back to the dorms, it's almost 5 a.m. and my head is literally killing me. I need some coffee, I groan. Hearing me grumble, Camille stops us at the 7-Eleven and I grab a cup to wake me up. As the caffeine hits me, I realize that there are so many things that I did wrong and how badly I treated my parents. I pull out my phone and scroll through all the text messages and calls they left me. Since I figured they were probably asleep, I decide to wait for later in the morning before calling them back. By the time I reach my dorm room, my legs and feet hurt. However, I instantly stop dead in my tracks when I notice 2 police officers standing outside my room, one male and the other female. I look at Camille and then back to the officers before I slowly approach them. "Are you Ms. Martinez?" The male officer asks me. "Yes, why are you here?" My voice trails off, and then the realization hits me. No, this can't be happening. I am Mr. Johnson and this is Mrs. Hart. "We're sorry to inform you." Mr. Johnson sighs heavily as he looks at his partner. "Your parents Raul and Maria were in an accident last night. A semi-truck crashed into them in which they sustained injuries that they were unable to survive. Ms. Martinez, I know this is hard for you to hear." His voice went to a whisper, going completely silent. Nonetheless, I still hear his voice inside my head repeating over and over that my parents are dead and I know it's all my fault. Those words hit me like blows to the stomach, each one robbing me of breath. I feel like my lungs are gasping for air, and my pleura begins working to bring in the much-needed oxygen. Even then I feel as if I'm drowning in the air. I can't help the tears that fall down my cheeks as I collapse to my knees and let out a loud scream. It was the kind of scream that bypassed my ears to speak right to my aching heart. Suddenly, I realized I'm going to be alone in my own world, stuck in the shadows forever. Until someone came into my life that I didn't expect, and turned it upside down.